This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and what I have for you today is a surprisingly well-made lock from Thailand. This is the Solex CO shutter lock. As you can see, it has a pretty unusual design with a lock body that completely surrounds both the shackle and the hasp to which it's locked. It seems to be a cross between a shutter lock and a hidden shackle padlock. The core is a disc detainer design with 8 discs, and this lock can also be disassembled for rekeying, so I'll be able to take this apart after picking. One final note before we get to picking though, and that is that this lock has a fit and finish rivaling anything in the world, and the overall design is also quite good. If I did have one nit to pick with this, it's the lack of a waist on the outside end of this shackle. That's actually a pretty common feature on shutter locks, to have a very thin portion right down here. That's a designed failure point against pulling attacks on the shackle, but overall I think that's a pretty minor issue. So all that said, let's see what it takes to pick this open. The first thing I'm going to do is rotate all of the discs as far clockwise as they will go. Then I'm going to be using this Chinese disc detainer pick. Let's make sure I got them all rotated. Okay, now I'm going to counter-rotate the top disc to give a little ledge for the tensioning nose of this pick to rest on. Okay, I think I have that pick where I want it. So let's put some pretty heavy tension on that core and get to picking. I'm tensioning off of 1, so we're starting to pick on number 2. Got a little click there. Click out of 3. Little click out of 4, click out of 5, nothing on 6. I might have gotten something on 7, hard to say. Definite click out of 8. Let's go back to the beginning. 2 feels set, so does 3, so does 4, 5, 6 is binding. Okay, got to click out of 6. I think 7 is set, hard to say. And 8 definitely feels set. Back to number 2, he feels set. So does 3. So does 4. So does 5. Okay, 6. Got a little click out of him. Nothing on 7. And 8 is binding. Okay, got a click out of 8. Not sure what's holding us up right now. 2 feels set. So's 3. There we go, click out of 4. Number 5 feels like it's binding. Got to click there and we open that up. So the gates on those discs must be pretty small because we had to pick a few of them a couple times. So let's take this apart and see what those discs look like. The first thing we're going to have to do to take this apart is remove the shackle. We can do that with a shim like this. I'm going to have to slide it in between the shackle and the lock body. That holds a small detent out of position while we remove the shackle. Okay, and that detent just fell out the bottom of the lock. Now that the shackle is removed, I can go through this hole right here and remove a small set screw. That takes a 2mm Allen wrench. And let's see if we can get the pin out of there. And now that that pin's out, we should be able to unscrew this cover plate on the core. Okay, We have the first disc stuck to the bottom of that cover plate. And let's start taking these out one by one. So we have that first disc, then we have a spacer, second disc, and spacer, third disc, spacer, fourth, fifth, sixth with the spacer stuck to it. Let's see if we can separate those two. Seventh, again with the spacer stuck to it. And number 8. We also have the sidebar. Let's take that out. Put that right there. And let's see if we can take that whole housing out. That's covered in grease. We can take a good look at that as well. Oh, one final spacer. Okay, let me give you a close-up of all of this. Okay, you can see some of these discs have rotation limiting lugs that are a little bit wider than others. All of the ones with the wider lugs appear to be made out of steel. I don't know why they would do something like that. It may help tension the lock, get it to operate a little bit more smoothly, but that's only a theory. I'm not sure about that. I can see there are no false gates in that, which is a little bit of a disappointment. I'd love to see some false gates in there. That would really make this lock very, very formidable. Even so, it's a lock that I really like. The fit and finish, as I said, is excellent. The design's quite good. We could add some false gates to make picking a little bit harder, but picking really isn't that great of a real-world threat, particularly with these disc detainer locks. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you.